When I was 8 years old, something came into my bedroom at night and told me things no person could have known. After every visit, I had to bury one toy I loved. If I did not, someone close to me would disappear. The first came in summer. We had no air conditioning, so my window was open. I woke when the little fan beside my bed stopped turning. The visitor was sitting in my desk chair. It looked like a very tall woman, but only from a distance. Its arms bent where ours do not. Its face changed slightly whenever I blinked. By morning, I could never remember its nose. I should have screamed. Instead, I asked how it had entered my room. It said, "The same way cold gets into a house." Then it picked up the pink hairbrush from my dresser and asked if it could brush my hair. That was how every visit began. It sat behind me on the bed and brushed very slowly. It never pulled. It always knew where a knot was before the brush reached it. While it worked, it told me things. It told me where our neighbor's missing wedding ring had fallen. My father found it the next morning inside the drain beneath her porch. It told me why dogs sometimes stared at empty chairs. I'm not going to repeat that one. Some things were frightening, but most were wonderful. It knew what birds saw above our town, where forgotten dreams went, and the sound snow made before touching the ground. I started looking forward to its visits. By day, I went to school, argued with my brother, watched cartoons, and traded stickers with Molly next door. At night, I listened for the fan to stop. The visitor came 4 times that summer. Before leaving on the first night, it told me to choose a toy I truly loved and bury it in the woods before sunrise. I did not ask why. I was 8, it knew impossible things, and I wanted it to come back. It could not be something broken or forgotten. Giving it up had to hurt. I was not allowed to wrap it in anything. The dirt had to touch it. No one could see where I buried it. Most importantly, it could never be dug up or washed. The dirt is how it stays dead, the visitor said. That morning, I buried Clover, the stuffed rabbit I had slept with since I was 3. I cried so hard that I vomited behind a tree. Then I covered Clover with soil and went home before my mother woke up. On the second visit, I asked why it had chosen me. It stopped brushing. Then it said, "I did not come to tell you stories. I came to empty this house." I asked what that meant. It named my parents, my brother, all 4 of my grandparents, and Molly next door. It said they were supposed to be gone by the end of summer. Not dead. Gone. There would be no graves, photographs, or memories of them. The world would close over the places where they had been. It did not sound angry. It spoke the way my father explained rain or electricity. "Why haven't you done it?" I asked. The visitor touched the top of my head with one long hand. "Something near you is making mistakes," it said. "The ground is accepting smaller things." That was when I understood what Clover had replaced. After the second visit, I buried a plastic horse with one chewed ear. After the third, I buried the doll my grandmother had given me for Christmas. After the fourth, I buried a wind-up bear that played the same 3 notes until its spring stopped. My room was becoming emptier. My mother noticed. I told her I had traded the toys at school. She became angry and said I did not understand the value of things. She was right, but not in the way she thought. Molly saw me bury the 4th toy. She had followed me because she thought I was hiding something. I did not know she was there until a branch broke. I made her promise not to tell anyone. I said it was a game. She asked why I was crying, and I told her to leave me alone. The next afternoon, Molly knocked on our back door. She had all 4 toys in a red wagon. She had found the disturbed soil and dug until she uncovered every one of them. Clover was gray with dirt. The doll's hair was full of roots. Molly said I was cruel for leaving them underground. I reached for the wagon, but she pulled it away. Her mother had said she could keep anything I threw out. Then she said, "Don't worry, I'll make them clean again." I followed her home. Their washing machine stood beside the kitchen. Molly put all 4 toys inside and added too much detergent because neither of us knew how much to use. I told her to stop. She laughed and pressed the button. The door locked before I could pull it open. We watched my toys turn behind the round glass. Clover's face struck the window once on every rotation. The plastic horse made a hard knocking sound against the metal drum. Once, the bear played a single muffled note. White foam covered everything. Molly looked pleased. "See?" she said. Now they're alive again. I ran home. That night, I placed the pink hairbrush on my pillow and waited. The fan kept turning. The visitor did not come. In the morning, a blue car was parked in Molly's driveway. I had never seen it before. A man I did not recognize was loading 2 little boys into the back seat. A woman stood in the doorway holding a baby. I asked my mother where Molly's family had gone. She looked at me as if I had used the wrong word. She said the Harpers had lived next door since before we moved into our house. I ran to school. Molly's desk was not empty. A boy named Lucas sat there. Everyone remembered him. Our teacher said he had been in our class since kindergarten. There was no Molly in the class photograph. There was no extra space where she should have been. I checked the library copy of the previous year's yearbook. Her brother was gone too. 4 toys had turned behind the washing machine glass. 4 people had lived in that house: Molly, her parents, and her older brother. I understood enough to keep quiet. My parents were alive. My brother was alive. My grandparents still called every Sunday. I decided that remembering Molly was safer than trying to prove she had existed. The visitor never sat beside my bed again. I am 39 now. Once a year, during the same week Molly disappeared, I buy 1 toy for every person I cannot afford to lose. This year I bought 6. For 7 nights, I name them, hold them while I watch television, and sometimes sleep with them beside me. It sounds ridiculous, but by the 7th night they feel like mine. Giving them up hurts. I think that is the point. Before sunrise, I bury them separately in the woods. I never use the same place twice, and the dirt touches every part. I do not know whether this still protects anyone. I do not know whether the visitor needs me to continue. But no one I have buried a toy for has disappeared. And every year, on the morning after I finish, I wake with my hair perfectly brushed. It happened again last week. So if you ever find toys buried in the woods, leave them where they are. Do not take them home. Do not wash them. They were buried for a reason.